German is simpler, it's more to the point. I learned German, Russian, French, and Spanish, and I had less trouble with German than I did with Russian.
You have studied lots of different...
Yeah, I got $27,000 in language study, okay, approximately. And
in your studies, then, do you think that these attitudes, these different influences of the zodiac, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do they have are they more of a cultural attitude, or are they based in language?
Well, I think language determines the way you think, and I think the way you think determines your language. I think they interact on each other. I think they're both compatible. They work in both ways. Because I think Germans relate more to philosophy. That's what I wanted to get into later on, the philosophy part, because the German language is cut out especially for philosophy. And then I think that just like the English language is related to science, the different language structures are related to different ways of perceiving things.
What about the fact that the United States speaks English and Great Britain speaks English, and they don't? They're not the same?
Well, they're different. There are different areas of the world. There's different geographical regions according to astrology and different signs. I never thought of that before, but I think that would be the reason. Because there'd be different regions, like astrocartography measures different regions of the Earth, and there's different regions according to, but there's various regions in the United States too, but I think Chicago is, the Midwest is the main part of the United States, and that's Scorpio there according to me, according to my geography, astrology and geography. And you can find that stuff on Ask Jeeves or Teoma. I'm listed first for ideas by Dale Freeman of anybody in Europe, and it's on Ask Jeeves, ASKJEEVES, or Teoma, TEOMA, ideas by Dale Freeman. And I got that geography, astrology and geography, and they got a listing for me too, a special listing on there because my ideas are so important. I'm an Aries, and I'm sort of full of self-egotism, but I'm really a humble person too, because God works through me, because I got all these ideas, but I think it's not me. It's about 80% of it is God working through me. It's not me myself. It's like a medium or something, just channeling that stuff. Because I think God is working through me. And do you want me to go on about that, about Greece? But Greece is Aquarius, and that's an air sign. And that's 500 BC to the late Middle Ages. So that includes the Roman Empire too. But
so for that period, that attitude dominated.
Yeah, that Zeitgeist. They call it Zeitgeist in German because that relates so much to philosophy.
What was the attitude of the Greeks then?
Oh, that was rationalism. That was Plato and mathematics and Euclid and the life and linear and abstract forms of art, like the Parthenon, to Middle Age church art. And that was the Jewish and early Christianity. That was the law and piousness, legalism and strict piousness. That was the abstraction. That was rationality. That's the mind and perception. That's what the mind perceives. And Socrates was the greatest pioneer. He's a pioneer. And Plato was the chief exponent, because Plato's about the most rationalistic of any philosopher. And the Greeks are known for their harmony and likeness, but that's more rationality than harmony. Like the golden, I think it was a golden harmony or something of the Parthenon. I'm not sure exactly how you describe that, but there's certain architecture that follows a mathematical pattern. Because that's mathematics, is what the Greeks are known for, because in the order by fields of science, it's according to the 4 different forms of science: mathematics, physics, biology, and parapsychology, in that order, because that's when they was discovered, the main exponents for that. Because Euclid was the first, was the one for mathematics, and then it goes on to Taurus and the English and that, and physics, and that was Newton. Then it goes on to biology and Leo, and that was Darwin.
What year was that again? When did it shift? When was the critical shift in thought when we shifted from the Aquarian mode to the...
Oh, that was scholasticism, because that's when we started to downgrade universals. We started to upgrade the concrete. That was St. Thomas Aquinas, because he tried to have more scientific attitude. That was a foreshadowing the English and empiricism and philosophy and the senses. That was Taurus and Earth and senses, and that was measurement. Like Galileo was the greatest.
That was like Galilean Newtonian thought.
Yeah.
Replaced the old Greek paradigm.
Yeah, that was the Greeks, because the Greeks was one of the greatest civilizations that ever lived.
Yeah.
And
Alexander the Great.
yeah, I don't put so much stock in military actions, but I put stock in intellectual activity.
Yeah.
And I think the Greeks of philosophy was the greatest philosophers. And that's what Greeks was. You know, in the end, it'll go back to the Germans, and again, it'll be philosophy, but it'll be holism, it'll be the interconnectedness of philosophy, science, art, and religion. It'll be in all the four philosophies, because they seem to be four philosophies related to the different countries: Greece, England, France, and Germany, or France and Russia. And you have the four philosophies are rationalism, and the Greeks, and abstractness, and then concreteness, and empiricism, and the English. That's
What are the four philosophies? These four different philosophies?
Rationalism, empiricism, idealism, and subjectivism.
Subjectivism.
Yeah, because they don't really see that sometimes. That was the Russians and Americans. That was Kierkegaard was the main exponent, because he talked about commitment. That was because while we're in postmodernism, the last stage, there's four different sections to that. There's phenomenology, there's pragmatism and existentialism and postmodernism. And the postmodernism is in the decadent stage of that, because that's when we fight. When we get something out of something, it's what it gives to us. It's whoever's in power structures, like Foucault, that French guy was saying. Whoever has these power structures is in charge of things. And
are we in the subjectivism stage right now?
Yeah, we haven't reached holism. My ideas will probably propel us into holism, because I got so many ideas on holism. But we're talking about it. We've talked about it since around the 70s or 80s. Like Friedrich Capra wrote that book on the turning point.
The holism, I read an article, a very interesting article in the Edge magazine this month, in the September issue.
Oh, yeah, I like that.
They talk about this Pluto moving into Capricorn. Pluto moving into Sagittarius into Capricorn, and what that means for global consciousness, what shift that's going to happen. But your ideas, you're saying that it
doesn't follow every 2,000 year pattern. It could be like the 500 BC to the Middle Ages. That was a long time, but the late Middle Ages to 1750 in England wasn't so long. And then France was 1750 to 1875. That's only 125 years. That's approximate, of course. And then the United States and Russia was 1875 to 2000. I don't know when it'll end. I just say 2000 is an arbitrary period, but it could be 2050 or something. I think it'll probably be around 2025 or something, when holism will take over more. It'll be the world government, the United Nations, and world trade, and worldwide internet. It'll be interconnectivity, because we need to watch nuclear proliferation, and we need to also watch global warming and watch pollution. We need to see the world as one, because that's what that was the last stages, the real stages of Russia and America, when they put a man on the moon, they put a rocket on the moon. The Russians put a rocket on the moon, the Americans put a man on the moon. And then we can look at the Earth and we can see it as one. We need to preserve the Earth. We need to preserve it from nuclear proliferation and pollution, and that's what the United Nations can do. And that's what I don't want to get in politics. I like Bush; he's a likable person, but I think the United States is too much isolationist. I think we need to go along with the United Nations.
I honestly don't believe that we are prepared to unify, because if unification would mean that everybody in America would have to take a substantial, we would have to reduce our quality of life.
Yeah, that's what we're doing with world trade. We're reducing our quality of life, but we're raising it for Latin America and Asia. Then we'll have a more balanced world wealth, and wealth in the world will be more balanced. And by that way, we can integrate the world, because just like the United States, there's Mississippi and then there's Connecticut, about the poorest and the richest. But I mean, there isn't as much difference as between Mexico and Connecticut. So when the world is more one, and hopefully what I talk about is a Volkswagen Beetle. That's one thing Hitler did.